Hello, my name is Melissa, and I know why you're here. Your baby won't sleep. You're exhausted, and you've tried everything. This series was developed by Dr. Greg Oji, a pediatrician with 37 years of experience who has helped over 2,000 families solve this exact problem. What you're about to learn works because it's been tested on thousands of real babies in real homes. Subscribe now, and let's end those sleepless nights together. Let's get started. How much sleep does your baby really need? Before we talk about how to help your baby sleep, let's talk about how much sleep your baby actually needs. And here's the truth. It's probably more than you think, but also more flexible than the rigid schedules you might have seen online. Sleep isn't just about giving you a break, though. That's certainly a welcome benefit. Sleep is when your baby's brain develops, when their body grows, when they process everything they've learned during the day. It's as essential as food. The sleep your baby needs at every age. Newborns 0 to 3 months, the unpredictable phase. Let's start with the reality of newborn sleep. It's chaos. Beautiful, exhausting chaos. Your newborn baby needs about 14 to 17 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period, but it comes in short bursts, usually 2 to 4 hours at a time. Why so fragmented? Your newborn's stomach is tiny, about the size of a walnut at 1 week old. They need to eat frequently, every 2 to 3 hours, round the clock. Their circadian rhythm, the internal clock that tells us when to sleep and wake, hasn't developed yet. Day and night mean nothing to your newborn. During these first 3 months, your main job is to feed your baby on demand or every 2 to 3 hours. Let them sleep when they're tired. Wake them if they sleep longer than 3 hours during the day to ensure adequate feeding. Survive. Yes, I'm serious. Just making it through these weeks is an accomplishment. This phase is exhausting, but it's temporary. You're not doing anything wrong if your newborn won't sleep in the bassinet, wakes up every hour, or seems to need constant holding. That's normal newborn behavior. Want the complete guide with every detail and strategy? Get the book Sleep Training Made Simple by Dr. Greg Oji on Amazon. The link is right here in the description. We just covered one piece. The book gives you everything. Click that link, get your copy, subscribe for more videos, and let's transform your night starting tonight. 3 to 6 months. Building a pattern. Around 3 months, something magical starts to happen. Your baby's circadian rhythm begins to develop. They start to understand the difference between day and night. Their stomach has grown, so they can go longer between feeds. This is when sleep training becomes possible and effective. At this age, your baby needs about 14 to 16 hours of total sleep in 24 hours. Here's what that typically looks like. Nighttime sleep. Gradually working toward 10 to 12 hours. This is your goal by 6 months. Daytime naps. 4 to 6 hours total, usually split into 3 to 4 naps. This is when you'll start sleep training. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. You're helping your baby gradually extend those nighttime sleep stretches, working toward longer, more consolidated sleep. 6 to 12 months, the sweet spot. By 6 months, most babies are capable of sleeping 10 to 12 hours at night without feeding. Their bodies have developed enough fat reserves to maintain blood sugar levels overnight. They're developmentally ready for this milestone. Total sleep needs remain at 14 to 16 hours, but it's distributed differently. Nighttime sleep, 10 to 12 hours. Daytime naps, 2 to 4 hours, usually 2 to 3 naps. At this stage, you're protecting and maintaining the sleep patterns you've established. Your baby might start dropping naps, going from 3 naps to 2, for example, and that's perfectly normal. What sleeping through the night really means. Here's something that surprises many parents. When pediatricians and sleep experts talk about 4 or 5-month-old babies sleeping through the night, we don't mean 12 hours of uninterrupted sleep. We mean 6 to 8 hours of continuous sleep, brief period of wakefulness, and 4 to 6 hours of more sleep. So if your 4-month-old sleeps from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., wakes briefly to feed, then sleeps again until 6 a.m., that counts as sleeping through the night. You're not failing if your baby isn't sleeping 12 hours straight right away. The goal we're working toward in this book is 10 to 12 hours of nighttime sleep by 6 months. But we'll get there gradually, extending sleep stretches over time, not forcing it overnight. Why sleep matters. I promise I won't lecture you about the importance of sleep. You already know you need more of it. But let me briefly explain why baby sleep matters so much. Brain development. During sleep, your baby's brain forms new neural connections. It's literally growing their intelligence. Physical growth. Growth hormone is released during deep sleep. Babies do much of their growing while they sleep. Immune function. Sleep strengthens your baby's immune system, helping them fight off illnesses. Emotional regulation. Well-rested babies are happier babies. They can handle frustration better and engage more with their world. Memory and learning. Sleep helps babies consolidate what they've learned during the day. And yes, when your baby sleeps better, you sleep better. And when you sleep better, you're a better parent. It's not selfish to want more sleep. It's essential. Day sleep versus night sleep. What's the difference? You might notice that nighttime sleep training often progresses faster than nap training. There's a reason for that. Day sleep and night sleep are controlled by different mechanisms in your baby's brain. Night sleep is driven by your baby's circadian rhythm, that internal clock that responds to darkness and light. As your baby's circadian rhythm develops around 3 months, nighttime sleep naturally becomes easier to consolidate. Daytime naps are driven more by homeostatic sleep pressure. Basically, how long your baby has been awake and how tired they are. Naps can be trickier because they fight against your baby's natural alertness during daylight hours. What this means for you. Don't worry if nighttime sleep improves before nap sleep. That's completely normal. We'll use the same sleep training approach for both, but naps might take a bit longer to solidify. Signs your baby is getting enough sleep. How do you know if your baby is getting adequate sleep? Look for these signs. Your baby wakes up happy and alert, not crying or fussy. They're generally content during wake times. They're meeting developmental milestones. They're feeding well and gaining weight appropriately. They fall asleep relatively easily for naps and bedtime. They can stay awake and engaged during appropriate wake windows. If most of these describe your baby, they're probably getting enough sleep, even if it doesn't match the exact hours in a book or online chart. Signs your baby needs more sleep. On the flip side, here are signs your baby might be sleep-deprived. They're consistently fussy or irritable. They fall asleep immediately in the car or during feeding. They wake up crying from naps. They're hard to put down for sleep. They seem wired or hyper when they're actually exhausted. They need constant motion or holding to sleep. They're taking very short naps, 20 to 30 minutes. If you're seeing several of these signs, your baby probably needs more sleep. The good news? The sleep training method in this book will help address all of these issues. Here's something important to understand. Overtired babies don't sleep better, they sleep worse. When babies are overtired, their bodies produce cortisol, a stress hormone, that actually makes it harder for them to fall asleep and stay asleep. It's counterintuitive, but it's true. That's why one of our goals is to prevent overtiredness by establishing consistent sleep patterns. When your baby gets adequate sleep, falling asleep becomes easier, not harder. Remember, every baby is different. These are guidelines, not rigid rules. Some babies need slightly more sleep, some slightly less. Your job is to watch your individual baby and respond to their cues, not to force them into someone else's perfect schedule. Now that you understand how much sleep your baby needs, let's talk about the other foundation of good sleep, feeding. Want the complete guide with every detail and strategy? Get the book Sleep Training Made Simple by Dr. Greg O.J.I. on Amazon. The link is right here in the description. We just covered one piece. The book gives you everything. Click that link, get your copy, subscribe for more videos, and let's transform your nights starting tonight.